Danny, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm making Swedish meatballs with a cream sauce. So similar to what you'd buy at IKEA if you're familiar with IKEA. So let's get started. Here I have 500 grams, which is about 2 pounds of minced beef. And this has a little bit of fat, but not much. I have 1 onion, which I've grated and then sauteed with 2 teaspoons of olive oil. Two large eggs. A 1/4 cup of heavy cream, two tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, a teaspoon of my all-purpose seasoning. If you haven't seen my all-purpose seasoning before and want to know how I make it, I'll leave an eye in the sky. And then I have sweet paprika, so half a teaspoon of sweet paprika, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of both allspice, ground allspice and ground nutmeg. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use my hand mixer to get this all nice and mixed together. So I have my plate here. I'm going to start rolling out tablespoons full of meatballs and just putting them on the plate. Once I've gotten to the end, we will start frying them. All of our meatballs are now rolled and ready to fry. So now I've got my pan on the stove over medium-high heat, and I have 2 teaspoons of olive oil heating up in the pan. So once that's hot, we're going to add half of our meatballs, saute them, and then continue with the other half of the pan. Now I've just used the same pan that I sauteed the onion with. I didn't bother cleaning it. I'm just using that same pan.
If you need more low grade, please.
Okay. Now that I think the oil is hot enough, I'm going to start adding our meatballs. One thing that I have to say about these meatballs is that they're very soft.
There's a carousel to the left. I think it's taken some damage.
Okay, so our meatballs are now done. I'm just going to remove these from the pan and into my plate. And you'll notice there's some nice brown bits down the bottom. Brown bits down the bottom, sorry. And we're going to use some beef broth to clean off our pan and get started with our cream sauce. So here are lovely cooked meatballs. What I've got now is 1.5 cups of beef broth, and I'm going to pour that directly into the pan. And I'm just going to use the beef broth to remove all of those crispy bits off the bottom of the pan. And I'm going to turn my heat on to about medium now. What I'm going to add is 1.5 cups plus 4 ounces of cream. I'm going to try and scrape all that cream out. Got 1 teaspoon of all-purpose seasoning.
Hammer on them. Hammer.
And you'll want to taste this and adjust your seasoning based on your taste. I've got 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. And last but not least, I've got 2 tablespoons of brandy.
Yeah, there's one in there.
What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to let this come to the boil and simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes and just thicken slightly before I add my meatballs. I'm going to also test for seasoning to make sure that the salt is where I like it. It's been about 10 minutes and my sauce has thickened nicely and the flavors have now come together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put back my meatballs and we'll serve it up.
Let me do it again. I think it's broke. Unless it was 2 there.
There we have it, Swedish meatballs with cream sauce. If you like this recipe, if you try it, please let me know what you think down in the description box. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe. We'd love to have you around here and I'll see you next time on Do It Frugal.